Welcome. This is the Lisa Coors Show, and I'm Lisa Coors. This is the Best of the Best in Fitness 2014. This is our third show. Our first show, you saw Danny Calhoun and Lisa English. Second show, you saw Karen Sudkamp and Jeannie Wade. And today you're going to get to meet Jody Blair and Teresa Robinson. They're going to inspire you with their stories about fitness, how they got into the industry, and hope to inspire you to get off the couch, start exercising. And let's get to Jody Blair. I want to introduce her. Jody, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
I'm so excited. I met Jody last year at the Women's Fitness Association Fitness Throwdown. She was one of our instructors. So I'm so glad to have you back.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, awesome. Well, tell us about yourself. Where are you from? And, are you from the area? Are you from out of town? Or?
I am from the area. I actually grew up on the west side. I know.
You're a west sider.
Yes,
yes, so am I.
Yes. Born and raised here. And once I got to college, I decided to go out and venture. So went out to school, undergrad in Oklahoma. And then I just kind of went all over the place to Tampa, Louisville. I've been all over the place. But I came back, and now I reside here on the east side in Amelia.
All right. So you got into fitness. I know you teach spinning, but tell us how you got into the fitness industry. What inspired you, or who inspired you to get into this industry?
I've been an athlete all my life. Growing up, I played soccer in high school, college, and I started out in athletic training and wanting to help athletes get better.
I gotcha. Yep.
But it wasn't until I came upon my advisor at one of my schools I went to, and she brought me to my first health promotion class. And
okay, great.
I kind of changed my thinking to, instead of athletes, more of the everyday population.
Wow.
And so, and I just love to help people. That's just my nature. And trying to believe in the things that they can do.
That's really cool.
So, yeah.
So tell us what you do for a living. What is the day of Jody Blair like? And I know you do corporate wellness type work, so tell us what you do.
Currently, I'm a full-time wellness coach with Wellness Coaches USA.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
So tell us what do you do when you're a coach? I don't know.
What I do is I go into corporate clients, and I help basically the employees with any kind of behavior change in regards to, obviously fitness is one of my strong suits, but stress management, which is huge in our country nowadays, smoking cessation, any kind of education in regards to cardiovascular disease, blood pressure, stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting. So in our industry, just so the viewer at home knows this, coaching is the hot word right now.
Yes, it very much so.
And do you think it's because of this whole obesity epidemic that coaching's become, because of the psychological stuff? Or what do you think about this whole coaching?
I think it's almost kind of like your own private counselor. It's your it's your accountability person. And it's essentially it's the coach is coming to you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of what's happening nowadays is that there's so much going on in everybody's chaos of life that it's hard for them to see how to do it. We all know what we need to do. However, sometimes with everything going on, we just can't really figure it out, and so the coach is there to kind of help be the ears and listen and point out the things that you need to do and how to slowly get to that.
Wow, what a rewarding job, because I think of being a daily personal trainer, how much more time I'd love to spend as a coach. So you actually get to do this for a living.
Right.
And that's exciting. And you had said that someone had inspired you, a counselor. And any other people in your life, your personal life, inspire you to get in fitness? Anybody else, or friends or family?
I really think about my parents.
Yeah.
My dad, he had a great work ethic growing up, and he had my mom who has some conditions that have hindered her from doing different things. And it kind of makes me think about myself and staying fit and staying healthy. But really, there's not really one particular person that I could say, because I try to take something from every person that I meet.
Wow.
And just push myself forward.
Wow, no, that's great, because a lot of times I meet people, in fitness, and something triggered, and it sounds like a compilation of family advisors, and there's always a reason someone got into fitness.
Right.
They're like, I want to solve a problem or help people so they don't get this way, and it sounds like you've had a compilation of a few people. So have you had a mentor along the way?
That would be my advisor.
Your advisor sounds amazing.
That's her name's Sherilyn. And she started out at the Cooper Institute.
Wow, that's a great place.
Yes. We're talking probably in the 80s when all the wonderful fashion was going on in the 80s.
Oh, you mean the leg warmers?
Yes, yes. She did, start out with the high-low and a step. And so she started out with fitness and gradually moved on to more of educating in wellness and health promotion and health education. So that really, because really the everyday person is who we need to make contact with and help change.
Yeah.
So,
do you feel like these people aren't in the gyms, are they?
No.
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 They're sitting on the couch at home, by the way, and we want you to come and to start moving, and that's what it sounds like you're all about.
Yes. It's the little things. It's the little things that you can do during your day.
Yeah. Have you had anybody, your employees that you talk about, you work with, anybody that's really listened to you and made a change, and you said, wow, this is a great job. I actually inspired somebody?
Yes. Again, it's never this huge thing, but it's a matter of fact that they are actually starting to make changes.
Wow.
That means that they put down one bottle of Mountain Dew that they normally are eating or drinking a couple of those a day and had a water, or you'd be so proud of me. I got up during my 9-hour day and actually took a lunch and did not eat at my desk. It's little things like that. And that's what I take home and hold on to and know that I made an impact on them.
So, it's kind of neat. I like how you said it's the little things.
Yes.
Because sometimes people want to see the big things.
Right.
Oh, I worked out 7 days in a row for 3 weeks. That's a big thing.
Correct.
But they're not necessarily going to keep doing that, are they? And nor do we want them to. But it sounds like these little steps that accumulate.
Correct.
Awesome.
Yes.
So our viewers at home, it's those little things, and maybe that's one of the many things we're learning from you today.
Yes.
So I'd like you to talk about challenges in your life. And I always ask this question to almost all of my interviewees about what is your biggest challenge in your life and how have you dealt with it?
If anybody knows me, they know that the biggest challenge that I have faced in my life is the fact that because of playing soccer for 18 years, I've had 4 knee surgeries on the same knee. I've had 5 years of gel injections. I've been told I have a very unique knee for someone my age. I've lost muscle tone. I have had to change a lot of things in my fitness routine, just because I cannot do that unless I want to have pain.
Right.
So it's a matter of, dealing with the frustration. And knowing that it may not be like where you can do another surgery or take a pill. There are other things out there that can help you. And so I'm all about trying to find alternative ways to help myself with my challenge. But I never let it stop me from being active, because I know that I feel better when I'm active.
Yes.
And I know that if I'm not active, that leg is just getting weaker because I'm not keeping it strong.
And as an athlete, this is hard.
Yes, it's very. It
You're
takes
used
away.
to being here, and you walk and go, I can't do this 5-mile run because my knee doesn't feel well today.
Right. It changes your personality because that's your identity for so long, but you can't exactly do that anymore. You kind of, they could say, oh yeah, you can go back to play, but at the same time, kind of the way the options as an adult, like, 6 weeks physical therapy, co-pays, do I need to take time off work? So you kind of have to think about stuff like that.
Wow, you do. There's more things now that as we get older, right?
Yeah,
So,
adults.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you'd like our audience to take away from you today. I mean, I'm hearing so many great things, little bits at a time, little successes. Anything else come to mind?
Actually, my motto.
Yeah.
The little changes that you make will eventually lead to the foundation of that big change that you've been trying to do over and over again. One of the things that I do for myself is I take it a week at a time. This week, with everything going on in my life, what can I do this week? Is it okay if I'm not feeling a lot of energy today, can I still do something and be okay with it?
Yeah.
Or today, I'm not going to go to the gym because it's so nice outside. I'm going to go do some yard work. That's not an activity of daily living. Right. That's something that you do here and there, and I use that as my exercise.
That's so really cool. Now, I again, our audience has seen several of our shows now, and little bits from every single person, and I really appreciate you sharing that with everyone. The last thing I just want to leave everybody with is our industry.
Yes.
Fitness. Yes. If you could change one thing about the fitness industry, the big gyms, anything, what would it be?
The trends.
The trends.
The trends. The high impact. Do this for so long, and you'll see changes. What's it going to teach you once you're done with that? I want more education and less trend.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I'm a big firm believer is if you're going to take on a challenge and you have it all laid out,
mm-hmm.
you need to make sure that you're taking something from it, so at the end of it, you're still maintaining those behaviors.
Wow. And these trends, I mean, we open these fitness magazines, Self magazine, and especially as women, we see what we should look like, the little skimpy outfits. You think it's scaring people to go to the gym? I mean...
Well, the average size woman is now a size, size 12?
12,
Yes, it used to be 10, now it's 12.
It's 12, yeah.
So, I mean, changes need to be made, and we need to educate the people about things that we can do and accept our bodies
for what,
for what they are,
and what they can do.
Yeah,
right. I'm glad you brought that up because I keep seeing all these trends and all these people getting more scared to go to the gym, and then again, our audience is looking back and saying, well, these two ladies right here. There is hope out there, is what I'm trying to say, is there are wellness people like yourself, trainers like myself, and all the other people we have on our show and that are in our community, and that can really help you and not intimidate you.
Right.
There's a wonderful group, of fitness out there now, of people who really, really believe in the wellness piece.
Right.
So Jody Blair, thank you.
Thank you so much
for being here today.
Yes,
I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you.
I'm learning that little things every day, little things every week. It's not about the big, big, big picture and the big, big, big stuff.
Correct.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thanks. So we will be right back with Teresa Robinson. Welcome back to the Lisa Coors Show. This is the best of the best in fitness 2014. It's our third show, and you just heard from Jody Blair. I'm really excited about our next person as well, and you may know her if you live in Anderson Township. This is Teresa Robinson. Teresa, welcome.
Hello,
you are a familiar face in this neighborhood, and I'm so excited to have you back because you were on one of my other shows a long time ago.
Yep.
So, Teresa, we want to know about you, where you're from. I mean, people see you different places. You've worked in Anderson, a couple different things.
Yep.
Tell us about you.
Well, I have 3 amazing daughters, and having 3 daughters in Anderson Township, you get to be entrenched in the elementary schools, the junior high and high school. So I'll put a little plug for all of them: Sherwood Elementary, Nagel Middle School, and Turpin High School.
Yeah.
And so you meet all these terrific parents. On the PTA, you get involved with great activities, and so you just meet And our neighborhood, we live in Sherwood Forest, so you know, you really get into the community.
Yeah.
And so half the times, I don't know if someone comes up and says hi to me, I don't know if I know you from, I used to work at the Y, don't know if I know you from there
Yeah.
or school or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a great community. People are very friendly, and I can't go to Kroger and not know someone I know. That's just the community we live in.
That's
great.
a wonderful
Yeah.
thing. So I bet a lot of people, a lot of our viewers don't know where you're from. Tell us, I love this story. Where are you from, Teresa?
Well, I'm actually a maniac. So, which means my family, we were born in Maine a few decades ago, and moved out into the Midwest, so mostly Indiana. So I grew up in Hanover, Indiana, great farming community, a terrific place to raise a family. And in about 1983, my dad got an opportunity to come to Cincinnati. And the funny story is I called while I was in college and said, hey, want to come home to visit? Where do we live? And they had moved to Mason. So once I came to Cincinnati, loved it. It's a great city, and I've been here ever since, married here, I have 3 daughters, and it's a wonderful place. So Midwestern girl with maniac roots.
Well, you know, it's very interesting. Teresa and I work together at Coors Core Fitness, and you go back to Maine every year, and you have some things you always bring back. And what are some of the things? You always bringing good little trinkets and food. And
well, in Maine, of course, lobster is cheaper than hamburger. So one year I actually did bring a box of lobsters back. But then you alienate friends because people are like, you didn't bring any for me. But there's a store up there called Moody's, and it has the best pie ever. And here's a little bit of I'm a little famous because they put a cookbook together. And when I was in Ireland years ago, I put on one of their shirts, their Moody's shirts, and they said, if you take a picture with our shirt somewhere, send it in.
Yeah.
And so I'm in their cookbook in Ireland with a Moody's shirt on. So,
oh my gosh.
So one of the things that I bring back,
Yeah.
I always bring back something from Moody's. Refrigerator sticker. I even have a sticker on my old car that says, I love me. And it's really me is it's short for Maine. So it really means I love Maine, but it just looks like I love me. Like, you know, so it's not fun double meaning. So yeah.
No, it's so interesting, and you always share your Maine stories, and I wanted to bring that to the viewers today. Tell me how you got into fitness, why you got into fitness. I know there's some great stories here as well.
You know, it was actually very humbling. I was always an athlete. Played basketball, volleyball, softball, every sport. Small community, you play everything. Played college basketball. Always thought of myself as a real fitness person. Well, the interesting thing is when I was in my mid-20s, I started having some lower back issue.
Wow.
And so after college, you think you're fit all the time, but unless you have a regimented schedule, you might not be as fit as you think. And I met a shaman, and when he was assessing me, he said, and this is very humbling, so if our viewers have heard the same feedback, he said, you appear to be someone who used to be in shape.
Wow, wow, wow.
So that was a big eye-opener for me.
Yeah.
I always thought that I was in shape, but as soon as I left college and that regimented schedule, I didn't keep it up. I'd play basketball once or twice a week, kind of a weekend warrior. So what really inspired me is being humbled by the shaman, and then started actively becoming more active. Yeah. So, and actually the first step for all those moms out there, my oldest child, I gave natural childbirth to. And I will tell you that I trained as hard as an expectant mom. You talk about nutrition, you know what we always try to tell our clients, nutrition and regular exercise. Because it's easy to do it for someone else. And then once I got into the habit of eating right and moving, then I thought, wait a minute, I'm important to not only my oldest daughter, but then 2 others followed. So I have to stay healthy as a mom. So that kind of started the path.
You know, Teresa, I'm really glad you brought that up, because we do see a lot of moms come in, and those who want to have children or, you know, are maybe pregnant, and they don't necessarily think that way. And I think the viewer, if that's you, you're a lady out there and you are pregnant or soon to be, taking care of your body, like you're training for something.
Yeah.
And thanks for sharing that, because I think sometimes what I hear from ladies is they don't necessarily think that way.
Yeah. And I would also challenge the partners and dads, is even though you're not giving birth or you're not carrying the baby, you have a huge responsibility for maintaining your health for this child. I mean, it's sad when you hear that a dad had a heart attack and died because he thought he would always be healthy.
Right.
And here he is starting a family, but they count on you too.
They
so
do.
So for some people, having children, even pets, if your pets are your babies, you're there to take care of them. So let's think about taking care of you.
No, thank you for sharing that, because yes, very important stuff. And you've trained for something else.
Yes.
Yeah. I want you to, I want a lot of people to know this about you.
This you talk about an epiphany for getting into fitness. After our twins were born, I ran the Chicago Marathon. Well, I had to train for it first. So what was very interesting is I'm not a runner. The most I ever ran was 4 miles my whole life, even in college. So, you know, when you were asking Jody earlier who inspired her, who were her mentors,
Right.
you know, it was ordinary people. So I didn't know how to train for a marathon.
Yeah.
So I picked up the book, Running for Dummies. Actually, my sister-in-law bought it for me.
Yeah.
And reached out to everyday people who had made running a habit, listened to them, they helped me. And so the most beautiful sign in the whole world is the word finish. And so as I'm running across and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I did trained for and ran 26.2 miles.
Wow. Yes.
And the fascinating thing after that is I felt trim, which is great, and yet I didn't feel strong. So I met a bodybuilder giving blood at Hawksworth one day. He was a beautiful man, and we got talking about strength training. Yeah. And I think it was my time. You know, everything comes in the right time for you. And so we started training. So we started talking. He linked me up with my old mentor. Now I can't think of her name. Joanna Lynn. Thank you. Love to you. And she really taught me about strength training, how to be a bodybuilder, how to, especially for a woman's body, how do we build muscle in a safe, healthy way. And about halfway along, she challenged me. She says, how'd you like to do a contest? Sure. Now, having no idea what a contest is, and for gals out there, or even fellas, you get up on stage in nothing but a Band-Aid and some dental floss. That's about the outfit.
That's quite the outfit, I'll tell you. Yeah.
And when my oldest daughter at the time, she's 5, as I'm doing my routine on stage, she stands up and she goes, "That's my mom." Now, there is no greater award, accolade than people in your life being proud of you.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we try to talk about at the studio is, you know, for parents, when you don't have to be a bodybuilder and run a marathon, but do something. Show your kids that exercise is important. Right. And they will look at you and go, that's my mom running that 5K race. That's my dad doing whatever. Yeah. And they'll be so proud of you. Yeah. So that has been my story. And when you have such a good experience, you just can't help but want to share that, right? You want to
share everything.
You share. You're like, it felt so good to see the word finish. It felt so good to feel strong. And it's all bottled up inside me, and I want to give that gift to other people. And it's a joy. It's an absolute joy to give that to other people.
And you do. I see it. This lady is amazing. She will inspire you. And people in this community love her. And for this reason, because you share. That's huge. I'm going to ask you a tough question, and I want to know about. You better take some water. This one. I want to know about your hardest challenge in your life and what you did to overcome it.
You know, having 3 daughters, who I would lay down my life for,
Yeah.
who are the reason I breathe every day. My hardest challenge is balancing everything that we balance.
Yeah.
You know, our mortgage, our time to ourselves, time with our children. Am I volunteering enough? Am I dancing fast enough? I do.
Yeah.
So I think my hardest challenge is not being too hard on myself.
Yeah.
Realizing that good enough is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be at every event.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to run marathons. I don't have, but I have to participate. I have to do something.
Yes.
You know?
Good. Good.
So I think the epiphany I had with this hurdle of, you know, getting my kids to soccer, am I taking care of myself?
Yeah.
I'm taking my girls to soccer several years ago, and I'm noticing this whole audience of parents sitting, and they're either on their phones or they're just watching, and I'm feeling anxious, like I haven't exercised yet. I need to take care of me.
Right. Right.
And we're at soccer for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I started walking.
Absolutely.
So I thought, okay, you know, I'll just walk 20 minutes. Just so I won't be so braggy, you know. So I walked 20 minutes while they're practicing. Mm-hmm. It was kind of good.
Yeah.
Kept doing that. Had other parents join me.
Wow.
And then after a while, we thought, well, let's spice it up. After we walked for a bit, we would say, let's do sit-ups over here or push-ups over here. So it was a hurdle to me to try to balance everything. But the answer was take action.
Yeah.
You know, as Jody said, do a small step. Take some action. Don't just talk about it.
Yeah.
Be in action.
Right. And you know, I always ask each of my interviewees, you know, what do you want the Anderson community to take away? And I've heard so many things today. I heard take action. I heard about women who are pregnant, anything, you know, like when you're pregnant, you need to take care of your body. Eating, training for pregnancy, training for childbirth. What other, anything else?
Yep. I lost my dad about a year and a half ago. And when he was diagnosed with cancer, he was given 1 year to live. And he, at that moment, I think really started to reflect on his life. He drank too much, he smoked too much, he never exercised. And that's not at the point where you want to regret
Right.
not doing something. So here's my message to the Anderson community. I want you to take all those excuses and put them in a bowl and throw them the heck away. They're not going to mean anything to you when you're given a diagnosis that you didn't expect. Now, thankfully, he lived 3 years longer than we expected, and he was a very grateful man. But I want you to stop making excuses. Don't try to be the best. Don't try to be, just move. Anything you do is good. And I want you to pat yourself on the back. Actively pat, 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 pat. Hug, hug, hug yourself and say, I did something for me today. And it's enough.
Right. Teresa, that was absolutely inspiring. Thank you so much for being here today. High five.
You betcha.
Thanks for joining us. This is the Lisa Coors Show, and I'm Lisa Coors. Please join us next time.